Do you remember that one Fort Minor song that was like 10% skill, 20% will, like
Yes.
whatever it is?
With the
Um,
power of will,
yeah,
5%
yeah.
pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Ugh.
Hey,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
nice. You do remember
I
it, bro.
do. Ugh.
Heck yeah, yeah. As you were like listing the percentages, I was like thinking about that song. I was
Yeah.
like, dang. Oh man, rest in peace, freaking Chester from Linkin Park. That just reminded me of that too. Um, Frick, is Linkin Park doing anything nowadays? Like,
They released something like after Chester died, but
it's just not the same.
it. I don't. I think it was like Chester was still on it. Like they had stuff they just hadn't released yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, this was years and years ago that this
Yeah.
happened. Years and years is probably only like 3.
Well, you think about it. That happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like I
Was it
remember
3 or
when
4
I
years
want to
ago?
say it was probably closer to 4
Yeah.
because it was after Chris Cornell, which is
Yeah,
his
his
the main
buddy.
reason why his side of it happened. Yeah,
Dude, I remember
Chris
growing up.
2017 was Chris Cornell's death.
Yeah.
Chester Bennington.
I remember growing up, me and my buddy.
2017
Um,
as well.
yeah.
July.
Oh, so it's about to be 4 years. Wow.
He Chester died May 2 months after Chris did.
Shoot, dude. That's like
Yep.
right after.
hmm They were like close.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
I
it
miss I miss Chris Cornell so much.
must have taken a hit on him.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I was saying, we used to listen to Linkin Park. Me and my buddy, just growing up, like we were like I don't
Oh, it
know,
was it
5 years
was
old.
it was it was the thing to do.
We were like 5 years old,
Watch
rocking out to Linkin
Transformers and
Park.
rock out to Linkin Park.
No, it was before Transformers,
Yeah, I
my
know.
guy.
Yeah, I know. What
Um,
was the like one of their like first breakout? What is it? I always forget the name of the song.
dude, in the end,
No,
um,
before that.
before that,
Yes.
I don't freaking know.
Before they got Transformers famous. The video was
Before,
like super weird. I guess I can just look it up.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I can never remember the name of the song. One Step Closer, that one.
One step closer, yeah, cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm a mother.
Fun fact that music video was directed by a porn director.
Oh my gosh,
Mike
how do you know
Shinoda.
this?
Mike Shinoda was like doing some interview or something that he mentioned it.
Oh,
They were
how do
like
you know
going through all
this,
their old music videos and he brought that up. But
dude? Hybrid Theory, that was that was the album, dude.
Hybrid Theory. I haven't listened to Linkin Park in a while. I don't know what their newest releases are. Like I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have anything because I feel like they recently released something. I can't remember. I'd have to
Well,
look.
let's look it up.
That's what I'm doing. I'm opening
If I
Spotify.
had
I'm
any
opening Spotify.
internet.
I got it. I'm opening Spotify. I just typed in Spotify in the search tab for Spotify.
Wow, you're a smart cookie,
I'm tired.
dude. Me too.
Linkin
I'm tired
Park.
too,
Well, that's because we stayed up till 3 a.m. watching Joker.
dude. I know. And
One more
okay,
light.
I freaking overslept for work today, so I was only out
Oh,
an
when I
hour.
when I got home, I got nothing done. I sat at my desk. I'm gonna start my project, and then I put
And
my
then
chair back. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch this video, then I'm gonna get started. And I knocked out, and I woke up like an hour later, and then I fell asleep again with my head down like on the desk, and I woke
yeah.
up again, and then I left to go get parts for the car, and then I came back, and now I'm here.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
I didn't
I
get too
needed. I
much
mean, I
done.
needed the sleep, so
Well,
it's
of
fine.
course, yeah. I'm still like not as rested as I could be.
I came back from getting the parts, and my mom was like, "Are you okay? Are you tired? You look tired." I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm
It's like I'm not
fine.
tired, Mom.
I'm not
Gosh, like
tired.
get off my back.
Door's closed. We're recording. Stay out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I meant to wake up at like 11, but then I ended up waking up at 12:45. 12:45, baby. So, and then I got out the door by 1.
Yeah.
So not ideal. Whatever. Like, I got that $50 from Mr. Beast.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last thing that Linkin Park released was One More Light, but that was 2017, so Chester was in that.
Mm.
And then they released a 20th anniversary edition of Hybrid Theory last year.
Mm.
But that's it.
Did they just like remaster all the songs or what?
It looks like it. It looks like it's just the same. It's 20th anniversary, so it has like bonus tracks and stuff.
Right.
And like I think there's a lot. Jeez, there's a lot. Yeah, there's EPs on here and some demos and stuff. And live stuff. Jeez, there's 6 discs of stuff. That's a lot of music. What are you doing?
Oh, you weren't looking, so
No, I was
just
looking at the other screen.
You weren't looking. I was
Are you
making
looking
faces.
at yourself? Are you looking at yourself again?
No. Well, yes.
Yes.
I was looking at myself, but also like making faces at the camera, so you could maybe get a potential screenshot for it.
For the thumbnail.
For the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
See, I'm multitasking in my brain. I'm thinking.
Yeah. You're making it easier on me, so I don't have to scrub through the whole video.
Yeah, exactly, bro. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Something about
Frick.
high school and
Linkin Park.
like Linkin Park and identity crisis and clothing and a little bit of Joker.
Yeah,
and probably
Joker.
a lot more Joker since we stayed up till 3 a.m. watching it last night.
Dude, it was a good film. Like
That's what I wanna start with is your like overall like takeaway. But first, welcome everybody to episode 3 of the What Were We Talking About podcast, hosted by me, Hunter Lopp, and my co-host here, Mark Krajan.
Hey.
Last night we watched Joker. Mark watched it for the first time.
You watched it for like the 6th time.
I watched it for like the 5th or 6th time, yeah. Which I don't mind. I like that movie. But yes, I want to start off with like an overall consensus of what you thought, and then we can dive from there because there's a lot we could pick out.
So, okay, I hate giving like any numbers. Like 1 through 10.
Don't give a number. Don't give a score. Just give a thought.
Okay.
Talk about the things you liked, the things you didn't like in like a general way, and then we can dive into the specifics.
Yeah.
Make it easier.
So, I liked the film. It was very intriguing. Held my attention all throughout. It was kind of a mystery, and it was fun to watch because it was mental health, and
yeah,
I know a lot about like crazy people. Pause. Also,
just cut back to you making the faces in the camera.
Right. Also, having gone through like mental illness and mental struggles myself, you know, with like stuff like depersonalization for like a year, depression, anxiety, yada yada yada.
Identity crisis.
Right. Identity crisis.
Like
not knowing who I am.
That's like a big staple of the movie.
Yeah, and not knowing who you are can really mess you up. Cause, I mean, you just look at the guy and he had all sorts of problems. Even after he found out, he kind of like, oh man, like there's no hope for me.
He had problems from like the get go.
Yeah, because from a child.
Yeah, the abuse is what started everything.
But so as my overall review, I think it's a great movie. Would I watch it again? Under the right circumstances, probably yeah.
Yeah, it's not a movie you just watch for fun.
Yeah. It's something that you like actually have to use your brain to like.
You need to be in that headspace of like you want to like dive into this kind of.
Because you kind of need to be aware at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Of what's going on, because you'll kind of like lose the trail, you know.
Yeah, it's a really subtle burn. that you can really appreciate if you look for it. But it's not like a movie to throw on in the background.
Yeah.
Like at a party, because it's like
No.
it's not a place for that.
No, it's a more serious. It's a serious film. You definitely get some real things in there. Like, people really do struggle with stuff like this, and it kind of highlights that. And it's cool to see that being highlighted. Where, okay, if you do have someone struggling with this stuff, there are ways to handle it.
Yeah.
You know, not with murder and going crazy. Like, maybe go get some actual help.
Well, that's the thing about the movie is there was no help for him. That was
exactly
working. Nothing was working from him, from anybody he was going to. And the thing is this could happen. Then again, like most, like Joker in general, like besides like the make believe stuff of like falling in the pit of acid and going crazy and bleaching the skin and all of that, like the versions that like fit like the Heath Ledger Joker can happen. He's just like an anarchist. This Joker is very like mental, so like that can happen. Someone can just have these problems and do something like that. Or like even the Jack Nicholson Joker was like a mobster.
It's real.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's what like has some like gives it some more appeal too, is because that this is actually like, okay, it's intimate, because a lot of the shots actually were like up close and personal too. Like the way that it was shot.
The majority of the film was operated handheld camera.
Yeah.
With a camera operator instead of like a dolly or stuff. There was stuff like that at times, but a lot of it's very intimate and handheld, which is what I know that's what they were going for.
Yeah, and you get a lot of like up close and personal scenes. Like I can just think of like
well, the opening when he's just sitting at the mirror.
Yeah.
And he's like messing with his smile and frown and it's like the tear.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was a cool scene where it's just like he just cries, and that's kind of, it reminded me of like when you're stuck in a job that you absolutely hate, but there's no way that you can get out of it. That's the worst feeling ever. Like feeling trapped and not being able to escape something. Dude, I'm familiar with that, and holy crap, that's not a good feeling. I mean, I understand how you can go crazy. But on top of that, I think the main reason, or not the main reason, but I think because he had the trauma and the abuse early on, that didn't set him up for success.
No.
Like, it's easier to do something to get out of something like that where you have mental health issues if you didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, if you're permanently kind of damaged.
An experience at that age when you're like becoming like yourself at such a young age, it's gonna deviate everything.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be hard to get back on track just because you've been so far off the quote unquote normal path.
Yeah, and you don't even know what normal is.
Yeah. Especially when your mom is also kind of a bit of a psycho.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you on that one.
What did you think of it? What did you think of his laugh?
Dude, his laugh was freaking, it was kind of annoying.
It was annoying.
To be honest.
It was just kind of like ooh.
It was kind of cringe.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the movie is like unsettling in that way.
Yeah.
It
was unsettling. That's the right word.
Yeah.
It was just,
it's creepy.
It was creepy. Disturbing. Yeah, because there was this silence that would like usually occur around these laughs.
Yeah.
Where it was like that was the main thing that was up front.
Yeah.
In
like
your face.
the when he's at the comedy club and he's like sitting and listening and like taking notes.
And then he's like laughing and no one else.
Everybody's laughing at the joke, but he would laugh at the other bits because he doesn't have that perception of humor that everybody else has, so he doesn't know how to handle it, so he laughs at the wrong things, and then he starts to hear people laughing, and he tries to laugh at the right things.
Yeah,
which is where the silence comes from, because he's the only one laughing.
That too, but also him laughing I mean, he had that condition, like
quote unquote. It's a real condition.
I mean, okay, yes.
I don't know the name of it, but it's a thing. Probably just type in Joker laughing condition.
Sure.
Yep, there it is.
But anyways,
third one down on Google.
So the condition that he had, like, I don't even know if like it was because he was laughing because he didn't know like when to laugh, or if he was laughing because of his condition. You know what I mean? In that one scene specifically.
The uncontrollable laughter, I don't think was that scene. That was on purpose laughter.
Oh, that was like, he thought it was funny. I mean, but
yes, when like he's not getting the actual joke and he's laughing at the wrong thing. I think that's just the product of his inability to recognize humor.
Because of his trauma.
Yeah, and like just how he's grown up, he doesn't recognize that. But like the uncontrollable laughter is more of like when you see him in pain.
Yeah.
After
when he's like nervous and
when
like
he's like
in uncomfortable situation. Yeah.
I can't even pronounce this. Pseudo bulbar effect, PBA. Episodes of sudden, uncontrollable, inappropriate laughing or crying.
Yeah, and
disconnect between the frontal lobe and the cerebellum, which controls
and the weird
emotions.
like he would like cough too.
It's because he can't breathe. He's laughing so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like you were saying, like he didn't develop like growing up, and like he grew up in a space where it wasn't even conducive to like, healthy like processing, like mentally. You know what I mean? So he wasn't able to process things a certain way, and like the people around him were sick as well. So they weren't a good example. And I see that. I see a parallel in my life as well, but that's neither here nor there. We won't touch on that.
We won't talk about that.
We can talk about it some other time.
Yeah. on a therapy episode.
Yeah, we'll do therapy episodes, and we'll just.
This is my therapy. Just talking is my therapy.
Well, no, talk therapy is a thing.
I know.
And it helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely helped me for sure.
Yeah.
And I only ever went to a therapist like maybe a month or two, but
it wasn't your thing.
It wasn't my thing, dude. Yeah. And like I was all about talk therapy, like talking through your issues and like being able to discuss this with other people, and then get like some sort of understanding. But I don't know, a therapist, it just doesn't do it for me, because it just feels like there's this disconnect. I had more success sharing with people that I knew. So it was like people in the church.
I'd rather talk with a group of friends than some doctor.
Yeah.
Even if they might have like the more professional opinion and know how can help, I prefer to get my help from people I know.
And I think that mentally it helps you more to connect with people you trust. So it's like, you can trust your therapist, but you don't have that level of intimacy that you would have with your friends.
And not at first, at least.
Yeah, not at first.
It could be gained, but that's also, trust is something that takes time. With every person, it's going to be different.
Yeah, and it's a more professional thing. It's a more like, I think it's a more cold thing with a therapist. With a friend, you have an established relationship outside of just talking about your issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like there can be fond memories there. There can be fun experiences like attached to that as well. And then I think it's just more comfort. At least from my eyes, from my perspective, there's more comfort in sharing with your friends and then being able to have that talk therapy with them instead of like a therapist. And I think if Arthur had friends, I know his condition made it hard. Like his overall condition. What I mean by that is like his mental health, his his laughing condition, but then also the abuse and the trauma and like how he didn't develop properly growing up. Like all of that combined, I mean, that's the reason he freaking worked a clown job, is because he couldn't find any other job because of his...
I don't know if that's true. I think that's like what he wanted to do, and that was the first step he saw, was making people laugh.
I mean, maybe, possibly, but also when you're that far gone, like mentally, you can't really find any other jobs.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean that might be true, but I think him wanting to become a comedian in the end, I think especially in the 80s, the first logical step is to like go into clown work, which is very popular. And
yeah, that can make that makes some sense.
Like
actually,
modern, you're not gonna think, oh, this guy's gonna try and get into comedy by being a clown.
No. What a clown he would be.
Yeah.
Dude, clowns are freaking weird. I don't even know what it is about them, but they're just creepy.
Well, they're like, it's a gag for kids.
I know, but
which
like,
I don't even still understand, because I never like enjoyed
who even thought
clowns
of it?
as a kid. I don't know.
Who even thought of it, dude? It's not even.
Yeah, is it a European thing?
It's archaic, dude. It's so old.
Where did
like
clowns like come from? Is that like
circus?
I know,
Acts.
but like, is that like a
Surely it's
like European
I'm
circus?
pretty sure it's European, dude.
Where did clowns derive from?
I actually don't know.
The most
but
ancient clowns have been found in the 5th dynasty of Egypt. Oh,
Egypt.
jesters.
Yeah, jesters. That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, clowns of course would come from jesters, and then I guess back in more older times, comedians, I guess, weren't really a concept of just someone telling jokes. They would rather have physical humor, which is why clowns were big, because it was all physical humor and colors, like the big feet, and the funny movements, and the falling, and the gags, and the stuff like that.
Now I feel the reason that doesn't work anymore, I think, is because we're so accustomed to these quick shots of dopamine. Yeah. And like those kinds of like that kind of humor doesn't work because our humor's kind of evolved. Like we have memes.
Yeah.
We have the internet. We have videos.
Quickness.
Quick. Everything is so
Which,
like
I mean,
at
like
the
stand up is quick because you go joke to joke to joke.
Yeah.
But even like you think about like movies, that's like a long form of comedy if you do a comedy film, but like you don't really see performers anymore, like comedic performers. Like you see like physical comedy, but not like as a routine. You see it like in a movie or in a skit.
Yeah,
places that aren't like highlighting stuff like that.
It's almost sort of primitive.
Yeah.
Like compared to what we have now.
Yeah. But how did we get here?
How did we get here?
Clowns.
Well, I mean, we're talking about clowns because we're talking about Joker.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to figure out a way to wrap it back around, but I'm just gonna say, speaking of clowns, what did you think of the music? Even though it has nothing to do with clowns.
Honk honk, freaking tooting my horn.
What did you think of the score?
Okay, dude. Okay, there were some moments.
I'm in love with it.
There were some moments where I was just like, definitely cut that out.
Well, yeah.
Because it's like
for audio listeners that could not hear what just happened, Mark almost knocked over his mic.
Yes. I was just readjusting myself in my seat. So, the score was sick. Oh my gosh, he's bringing out the props, bro.
Every episode I'll have a prop, probably, you know.
He's bringing out the vinyl.
While you speak, I'll get it out. It's only one disc, but
there were some moments where the score really created this tension that was eerie, you know? It was unsettling, it was eerie. Dude, that looks sick.
I know.
That looks
this side
crazy.
Is so creepy.
That side is so cool.
Again, for audio listeners, it's just a close-up of Joaquin as the Joker in the makeup, and it's just really creepy but cool.
Mr. Phoenix.
And then on the other side is him, like a shot of him dancing on the stairs. So it's a print vinyl. It's very cool. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive, so if you're looking to get yourself one, go to Barnes & Noble.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Oh, man. Imagine getting sponsored by Barnes & Noble.
Sponsored by Barnes & Noble. Please, Barnes & Noble, send me all the vinyls you have. Barnes & Noble's got some good vinyls.
Dude, I don't even remember the last time I set foot in a Barnes & Noble.
Last time I went was to get a vinyl, because they were the only place that had it.
So the score was crazy, dude. Like it made every scene just feel so much more.
It influenced everything,
so much
which
more
was
intense.
the goal.
Well, yeah, I mean that's
no, but like
the goal,
a
really.
specific. Well, like we mentioned it last episode. She started writing music based off the screenplay.
Oh.
Instead of after seeing the footage. Because Todd Phillips, the director, he wanted the music to influence the scenes as they were doing everything. So that's why it was done so far in advance, which is not normal in most cases.
Yeah.
Which we talked about a lot of that last episode, but
so tell me about the bathroom scene.
Bathrooms,
because you had mentioned something.
We talked about it last episode a little bit.
Yeah.
It happened a few times. It's in the same vein as the bathroom scene. The opening scene, where he's at the table and he's in the mirror and all that.
Yeah.
They did a similar thing. They played a piece of the score while he was doing that scene, which really changed the scene.
Yeah.
Todd Phillips talks about it a lot in the interviews that he's done and that I've listened to. That they were doing the scene and then they did a different take of it where he played the music for Joaquin in the scene. And that was the scene that they actually used, and that was the one time that they got the tear from his eye, which was just random. That wasn't like a scripted tear.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't understand how
actors
the
can bathroom scene is more interesting to me because of how they completely changed the entire scene based off of the piece of music.
Yeah, and the dancing was so random.
Yeah.
It was so random.
I remember them saying this from the beginning, that Arthur has music in him. He's a person that has music in him. Like you see it from the beginning when he's dancing with the sign in the beginning. And it's just very different. It's like not interpretive, but like really like, I don't know how to.
It's really stiff.
Yeah, it's like static, and which is what was great about the stairway scene when he's dancing down, but we can get into that later.
Yes.
But about the bathroom scene, now that you've seen it, I can talk about the implications of it because I was kind of dancing around it.
Ooh, the implications of it. Okay.
No, but where what the scene was gonna be, because like I remember last episode I was like, oh yeah, he runs into the bathroom and he does some stuff, because I didn't want to say he runs to the bathroom after he shoots the guys on the subway.
Yeah. And that's what sparked it all.
Yeah. The scene was supposed to be like he tries to hide the gun and like clean everything up and like, but they were like they were like on the clock. I don't know if they shot this bit in Manhattan. They shot a lot of it in New York, I think. But like the whole crew was waiting outside in this freezing weather, and just the DP, I think Lawrence Sher is his name, Sher. I think it's Sher or Sher. Joaquin and Todd Phillips were just standing in that bathroom trying to figure the scene out. And then Todd decided just to play the song, and Joaquin started to do the dance.
Yeah.
And Todd Phillips just told Lawrence to just follow him. He's going to do whatever. Just start at his feet and end at the mirror. And that's all we need. I don't even know if they said end at the mirror, but they said start at his feet and go from there. And just follow him.
Dude, that's sick.
Like, yeah. But he was like, this whole scene is like he's going to hide the gun. He's going to clean everything up. But why would Arthur know what to do in that situation because of the kind of person he is?
Yeah.
Like, why would he even do something like that? He's not going to think that.
Yeah. He kind of has, like, no remorse. Like, he doesn't have that thing in his brain that kind of clicks.
Well, yeah, it's a part of the, like, his condition thing about, like, his emotions are, like, disconnected.
Yeah.
The way his brain is disconnected, emotions don't register.
Yeah, he kind of has this, like, frontal lobotomy kind of deal.
Well, it's the frontal lobe disconnected from the cerebrum, which is, like, emotional stuff, so he can't process that. But
exactly.
Dude, he's a good shot. Dude got a headshot on that first kill.
Oh, yeah.
Laying on the ground, getting kicked and battered, and he just, bang, headshots the first guy. I'm like,
dude, that
this
scene was
good
so crazy.
And he's a lefty.
Oh my
He's a lefty too. That dude's a good shot.
Dude, that scene was crazy, cause like, you knew that he had the gun.
Yeah, but you kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
And you also notice when he's starting to laugh, you see him like doing this and like looking in his bag, because he doesn't have the card. Because the lady on the bus never gave it back.
Yeah.
So he couldn't give them the card.
Yeah.
Which might have stopped it, but they were 3 drunk assholes. So it might have ensued anyway. But you see, like, he's like looking in his pockets and like it starts to look in the bag for the card.
Yeah.
But it's because he never got it back.
I was like, when is he gonna pull out the card? But like, he didn't.
They didn't give it back.
So that's why. Oh, I didn't even realize he never got it back.
Well, that's like something you don't notice on the first time, because at the bottom of the card it says please return kindly or something, and she never does. It's to show that everybody's so like just imposing and rude.
Yeah,
Gotham.
antagonistic towards him.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Poor Arthur.
Dude,
okay.
I mean, but really though, poor Arthur.
I was feeling bad for him.
Sucks.
Like he was made to be the bad guy because he was neglected.
They created him. Gotham created
him.
Partially, and then the other part was again with his abusing from childhood or whatever, but
yeah, all of those things combined created him.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a very common theme in Joker lore. Yeah. Batman creates him accidentally. The world creates him. Batman's presence creates antagonistic people that want to rival him.
Yeah.
But that's pretty common in superhero like mythology.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it was weird because it's happened before, like with the Jack Nicholson Joker. He was the one that killed the Waynes. But in this, he started the movement that got the Waynes killed.
Yeah, which was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's not
cool to see. Cool. It's cool to see this interpretation.
Yeah. And it was interesting because he started a movement inadvertently.
Yeah.
And
he started a movement because of the job he had. If he didn't have the clown job, he wouldn't have had the makeup. He wouldn't have started really a movement. It would have been another killing, probably.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't be like this clown movement, which Thomas Wayne didn't help by calling all the runts clowns, calling everybody clowns.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, all he ever wanted was some recognition, was someone to look at him and see him as a person. And
yeah, which you don't throughout the movie. You see it, like his like health services lady at the beginning
does not care,
does not answer his questions, does not acknowledges the comments he talks about that are like really like detrimental. The people on the bus don't care. The lady didn't care about with the kid.
No empathy, no putting yourself in their shoes. Like,
I mean, he explains it pretty well when he ambushes Thomas Wayne in the bathroom at the theater. He's like, I don't understand why you people are so mean.
Yeah. He was like freaking out, dude.
You don't listen and blah 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 blah. But it's like he's got a valid point as to why he's upset and just wants to talk.
Yeah, and that's been his whole life. That's the reason why he's so frustrated. And at the end, he gets that validation in a sense because everyone is praising him, cheering him on, and basically worshiping.
They're praising a symbol, but he thinks that they're praising him.
Right, but
then when he reveals himself, he finally steps into that position of himself, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, they're praising the symbol, but he is kind of that symbol. He's kind of the head of that movement.
Yeah.
At that point now.
Inadvertently. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he kind of owns it.
He owns it
when he becomes Joker.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, he might have gotten away with it, Yeah.
Because if he didn't
lean into it.
Yeah. But then again, there would have been no development as a human or a character to not accept himself, which is what he does when he kind of makes that shift slowly over the film.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have
his true self. in a way. Even if it is putting on makeup, he's taking off another mask of Arthur.
Yeah, because he finally finds, I guess, some confidence in, like, okay, if I'm going crazy, I'm going full crazy, you know? And he's kind of like, he kind of loses all hope. And in that, I guess, in that he finds his hope, in a sense, in this weird, twisted, demented way.
Yeah. Does he kill his mom before or after he goes to Sophie's apartment? His fake girlfriend.
It was before, dude.
It was before, right? He killed her and then he went to the apartment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember. Because that's, like, when I think he, like, really clicks it.
Yeah.
Like, when it ramps way more. It ramps the whole movie if you, like, really pay attention to his performance. But sometime around there when his mom is suffocated by the pillow.
Dude, that was a crazy scene,
where he accepts it. Like, my life, I thought it was a tragedy. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lean into that because I'm accepting that's what it is.
It's so bad that it's hilarious. It's so tragic that it can seem.
It can only be. It's so bad. It could only be a joke. This can't be real.
Right.
So exactly. I'm just gonna lean into it because why the hell not at this point,
dude? Which sends chills down my freaking body, bro. Like, that's crazy.
That scene when he's walking back in the rain, and when the score hits, that real deep. I don't even know what instruments it is, but those drums come in and, like, I don't know if it's cello or some sort of string instrument.
Real, like, this real visceral thing.
Imposing, like, heartbeat that he's getting. But
yeah, and the funny thing is, or, like, the interesting thing I think about when he was interacting with the girl was, I was like, bro, things seem to be going good for him. That doesn't seem like Arthur. Mm-hmm. Like, it was all in his head. I thought it was in his head, and it was.
Yeah.
So
I think like this. I don't know if this is. I haven't really looked into it, but, like, when they reveal, like, that the girl wasn't in those shots, I think they could have left that out, and you would still understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's still like, "Who are you? Why are you in the wrong apartment? Your name's Arthur, right?" Right there, you can click. Like, oh.
Yeah. Even without those shots.
Yeah, but
like,
at that point, I think it's like the studio or the producers are like, we need to show them because the audience is an idiot, which I think is a horrible way to go about it. But I don't think that was something they planned on having in there. Maybe they did. If they did, cool. If not, it works great without it. But from what
the audience is kind of an idiot.
Yeah, but in the way that they already planned it out before doing those shots, it seems like it's pretty straightforward again, unless they were just wanting to bank on the tragedy of that, or, like, the switch of that.
I think
like,
it
if
added
they just
more
wanted
value.
to, like, yeah, I think it did. If you, like, think of it from his perspective, almost like he was fooling himself.
Yeah.
This whole time, and then he goes in there, and then he realizes, and he has to think back a bit.
Dude, and it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
So,
But was any of it real?
Ooh. Yes. I think so. I mean,
because
okay,
we have the clock theory.
Oh, yes, something
clock
that
theory. I brought this up briefly after we watched it. Every clock in the movie has the same time.
And that's confirmed.
If you look,
question mark.
From what I will confirm it here. But if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me later on. But I don't think I am. From the amount of people that have also been saying this. But the clock theory,
what is the clock theory?
I understand is that it's all at the same time because he's actually already in Arkham recalling his thoughts to the lady at the very end.
Ooh.
Because there's a clock in that room too, and it's the same time.
Oh.
So it's like he's recounting everything because he's not even sure he doesn't even really know what happened in his own life. He's at that point where he can't even trust his own thoughts.
That's crazy though.
Because
That
there's this
theory.
one, like, I think I would I
That's
would
a
like to
cool
think
theory though.
I would like to
That's
think
sick.
that it happened. He shot the guys on the subway. He got to the talk show. He shot Murray,
Murray.
and then when he's being taken away in the cop car, but you see the ambulance hit it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's in his head too. Because then he's like praised in the ambulance, or like they put him on the top and he dances and they all crowd around him and they cheer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's in his head. I think he just made it to the prison and he was put in.
Oh,
But in his head, he can't trust his own thoughts and he sees himself as this iconic idol.
interesting. Yeah, because we tend not to vilify ourselves in our own
Yeah.
memories,
So
but we tend.
he puts himself on the pedestal or on the cop car.
Yeah.
But like the likelihood
Interesting.
of that ambulance knowing that he's in that car, like cop cars are
I
driving
don't.
around in general. How are they going to know that he's in
I
there?
don't think. I don't think they knew he was in there.
Yeah.
I think. I think they just crashed into the cop car because f the police.
Yeah, it could have been
Um,
that. But then again, the guy
and then
got out and
they
like
looked
he
in.
really looked. But I like the
Well, they
theory
well
of
they
that he
wanted to
didn't.
see.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to see who was in the
Unless when
car.
they
Who
crashed,
they
they saw him. But
hit. Yeah, that's probably what happened.
that's a
was when they
really
crashed, they saw him.
timed event to hit them at that cross street and not like just come up behind him. It's a really
Yeah.
convenient accident for him.
It could have also just been like a complete accident. Like, they stole the
Yeah,
ambulance
they could have
and they
just
were
been
just
hauling down the street too.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you never know. Like you just
Yeah.
hit somebody if you're
And he
not
could have
like
just been like put or not even put on the hood and they just left him because they still didn't care about him. But I really like the idea that they just took him to prison or to the asylum.
dude,
or not
that's
asylum,
actually
it's a hospital in this movie, but
that's crazy though to think. Like
yeah.
that theory of like, okay, he's actually just recalling everything, but it's skewed.
Yeah.
Because it's
'Cause
in
he's-
his
yeah,
head
and he can't even trust his own.
properly
Yeah.
he can't properly portray his own thoughts. So the thoughts that he's telling everyone, it's kind of like under this light of, oh, I'm the one who's the victim.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's the victim.
The story
but also,
paints him as a victim and you feel bad for him. But then again, is that the real story or is that the story that he's just told
he's
these people?
telling us,
Or that we're seeing from his perspective of what he wants it to be.
right?
Or thinks it is.
And that clock theory could be
Yeah.
it if that is true.
Yeah, I really like
Which-
that because earlier when he's talking to the first services lady that doesn't
Mhm.
care about him, she quotes back. She's like, "Do you remember when you were in the hospital?" And it shoots to that one scene where he's banging his head on the door. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's in that same white room at the end,
Yeah.
and he has the same white jumper, and he's got the scruff, and he's got the same hair. His hair's longer in that one shot than it is throughout the whole movie, like it is at the end. So it's like
interesting.
they're like he's already there, and I don't know if it's just they found the right actor for both mental health, or both like mental services people at the hospital and like the state ward are both fairly around the same age, black women with like the same kind of hair.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I don't know if that's just coincidence or like he's just imagining that he just put that same woman in that position.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not the same woman. That's probably a far fetch, but
No. It makes sense because like he might be remembering it wrong.
yeah,
And he might
he
just
could have
like
just been
be
talking
kind of
to that
filling
other
in the
lady,
blanks.
and he's filling in some other
Yeah.
situation. Yeah,
Dude, that unlocks like so many different layers to the film.
Yeah.
At this point, like
Yeah.
the theory, dude. Oh,
There's so many theories for movies like this because character studies are really, really spot on when it comes to like what they can use as another character because it's all about this one person. Arthur's in like, if not almost every shot of the movie with like little cutaways and stuff, but like everything else becomes a character at that point. Like the city is a character, the music is a character, everything really evolves around him. Because again, it's his story, so he could be seeing it as his perspective and what he's recalling.
I like that theory though.
Because you think about it, the song that they play like after they pan out to all the screens and like they're showing all the news reports and it cuts away and it plays what is it? It's Cream. What's the song? It's by Cream. Gosh, why am I blanking? I should know this. Crap.
You should know this. You're the freaking rock and roll guy.
I know. Cream. Sound Disraeli. What is it? I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's it. Crap. Why can't I find it on here? No, it's not Sunshine of Your Love. White Room. I was like, White Wedding? No, that's not right. It's White Room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is like this rock song, like celebration as he's like leaving the cop car. It's not something you would expect to hear in a moment of quote unquote like defeat.
Oh, was it like a triumphant song?
Remember, like it's got the guitar and the solo. When like he's pulling away into the cop car until the car gets hit.
I don't remember the song.
Do you remember the song that plays when he finally has the makeup and he's dancing on the steps?
Not really.
It's like a rock,
yeah, sort
of.
And
it's like upbeat and it's like
badass. Is it the same song but just a different part?
No, it's a different song.
Oh.
But like you would think like those songs don't fit those situations of this guy descending into madness, but it's playing from the song of almost from his perspective, like he's this rock star that's made it.
Yeah.
And he's dancing around and he's so happy.
That further helps the case for the clock theory.
I don't even know if it's called the clock theory. That's what I'm calling it.
Well, that's what we're calling it.
The easiest thing to call it.
Well, because if all the clocks are the same and he's already there at the asylum or the hospital, whatever.
He's painting himself as this rock star who created a movement. Which he could have created a movement. He just might not have been this praised from it.
Yeah, or like he wasn't like worshipped.
Yeah.
And it escalated very quickly too because, there was hundreds of people out on the streets just pillaging.
It was happening before the talk show too. Like there were the riots and the stuff like in front of the theater and all that.
Looting, pillaging, death and destruction.
I think the moment he shot,
everything fired.
Everybody just kind of lit up.
Yeah. Dude, when he shot him on live TV, that was insane. Yeah. That was insane.
And then he gets up and he shoots him again, and then he does a little jig.
Yeah. So bad. So insane. Oh, man.
That's life.
That's freaking crazy, though.
It's really good. But
it was a good film.
Speaking of the dance on the steps.
Oh, the dance on the steps.
I found this out today.
You learned it.
Because I was looking. Dance. No, I do have the shirt though.
Yes.
Of the best pose of the dance. But I've learned this today. I was like looking up little things. I was in the car and I was listening to some stuff. That Joaquin brought up about the dance was shot in 24 frames instead of the normal 30 or 29:97 or whatever. Movies are shot in 29:97.
Yeah.
But instead the dance was shot in 24. So it seems more static and rigid and like ugly. But then it transitions to that slow motion in 60. And it seems very angelic and like he's flowing and it's this beautiful dance. And then you cut away to the policeman again, and it gets back to the static, and then the rock music stops, and it descends and it morphs into the score, which is my favorite music cue in the movie. Like if you really pay attention, it's a movie you have to watch more than once.
You have to watch more than once.
You have to watch more than once, and you can pick apart what you want to pay attention to. Like I love paying attention to score, and how it cues and interacts with stuff.
I wouldn't have been able to catch any of this.
Yeah. But that's because the score is like my shtick, which is what I really love.
Mr. Bread and Butter.
If I was going to pick something out, I'd want to focus on that first.
Yeah.
But he's dancing on the stairs and then he gets to the bottom, and when it goes into that slow-mo, angelic form, and they're more close-up shots and they're more intimate because it's what he's feeling in that moment instead.
Yeah.
And the music morphs. and it goes from like this real heavy rock, and then they cut to the policeman, and it goes back to him, or like no, you see them in the back at the top of the stairs first,
Mm-hmm.
and then it does the morphing, and like it just shifts, and it gets really, the tone doesn't really work, and it's like unsettling, and then it changes into it transitions into the score of like the strings and the drums coming back in, and the heartbeat banging.
Interesting.
So, but I remember everybody like cheered when he was on top of the cop car and he did the blood smile with his fingers.
Oh yeah, that
everybody
was a crazy
was like,
scene.
Everybody was just cheering so hard in the theater.
That was a crazy scene.
Yeah.
Like, just everything burning around him, and then he's on the cop car and just like...
He's dancing so perfectly on that cop car too. Oh gosh, your eyes. They don't even look like brown, they just look black. So it looks even... You're like a little overexposed when you look like that. It's so weird. But I guess we haven't talked about the mask.
Oh yeah, the mask. The mask that's behind you.
The mask that's behind me. This one. Should I do a little...
It's an ugly ass mask.
It is, and I've used it for I had to do like a photography exercise, so I used it, and it looks really creepy. Especially because you can just like widen your eyes. And it looks really weird. But like, here, I'll just like,
yes.
It's so weird. But
interesting.
I like it. I love it. I love like the those huge lips. Because this is like, they made the mask based off of what they remember, what the witness remembers him looking like when he shoots them. Because the mask matches his makeup. The little blues and
of course.
It's the same makeup, essentially.
Well, yeah, I noticed that right away.
Because the witness was the girl in the subway car that was getting harassed. She's the only witness, so she had to have recalled that's what the guy looked like. And there was like killer clown in the newspaper, and then they made the masks out of it or whatever.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow. There's so many layers, dude. There's so many freaking layers.
There is so much I could pick apart from this movie. I could talk about composition and shot comparison. I could talk about color theory, which is really intriguing.
We're not getting into that.
No, color theory. Color theory is not intriguing to the average person. That is the filmmaking side of me wanting to talk about color theory.
But unfortunately, we have run out of time.
We did. We went a little long, which I don't mind when I'm talking about Joker. Quick, I didn't talk about it. I want to. I brought it up yesterday. Shot comparisons. There are two that I remember.
Yeah.
One, it helps paint the picture of like where he's at as a character and stuff like that. One at the beginning when he's on the bus.
Yes.
And he's leaning up against it out the window, and the window is all muddy and dirty, and the composition isn't very clean and like crisp. And like he's super sad behind the foggy window, and at the end, the juxtaposition of, excuse me, oh gosh, ugh, the cop car at the end when he's looking out the window and it's bright and it's colorful and he's smiling, and that window and that cop car is so clean, to show like his evolution as a character to have clarity.
Yeah,
like who
just throw those pictures up on the screen.
Yeah, I'll put them. Oh no! Mark's poster fell.
Oopsies.
So, well, that's what happens when you use one piece of Scotch tape on fabric. Fabric isn't going to hold tape very well.
Whatever.
But the second was it's not as like obvious, I think, or like as easy to draw lines together as the window one. But at the end, when he's walking back in the white, and That's Life starts to play, and he's walking down the white hallway at the very end.
Yes.
And it's the same framing as when they show Bruce in the alleyway with his dead parents.
Oh, really?
So, like, he's walking down the alleyway in, like, this bright, happy dance. And then
Bruce is walking down the
Well, Bruce
alley.
isn't moving. Bruce is just standing there with the blood on his face, with his parents on the ground in the night.
Yeah.
But they show that before the dance at the end, when he's talking about, I remembered a joke, and then it cuts to him in the alleyway. He's like, oh, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I don't even know if that's what the joke is.
Sick joke.
If the joke is that, the Waynes are dead.
That's definitely.
I don't know. I think it's probably like 80% of me thinks that's what the joke is that he realized that he got the Waynes killed, so the joke is that he was inevitably the reason for Batman.
Does he ever find out, like,
that
does he ever actually see it for himself that they die?
I mean, he probably heard it on, like, the news.
Yeah, so he never actually saw their actual bodies.
No, he was already arrested at that point.
Yeah.
And then the guy randomly outside the theater killed them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to be like, is Batman a part of this world?
Not yet.
Like, is the joke that he's sitting there recalling all of his actions, and those actions got the Waynes killed, and getting the Waynes killed created Batman?
But he wouldn't know.
Has already...
He wouldn't know yet.
This is a theory. How do you know? How do you know when this part in the asylum takes place? This could be years later. He does look a little older.
Even if it was years later, it's not like 10, 20 years later.
Yeah, true. I like the idea of the joke being that, he created his own enemy.
I don't think that's it.
Which is, I mean, it's been done before, like I said about Jack Nicholson, but I do think that the joke is connected so that the Waynes are dead. I don't know if it's connected. I don't think it's connected to Batman necessarily.
No, I think
that would be a cool thing to do, like if you had that interview thing when he was a lot older and did something like that, and at that point he already knew who Batman was, but he didn't care because that's not the point.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the future, like too far in the future.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit because he's got longer hair and he's got like a scruff going.
Yeah, so well, you can maybe a few months.
Yeah, it's enough time to where he's been recalling this origin to this lady probably very thoroughly, more than what we're actually seeing. But
that was our little like in-depth review of the Joker.
In-depth review.
Yeah. And there's probably still so much more that we could go into, but that would just be too long.
I don't know if you would be here. I would be here ranting
I'll just leave
to camera for like 5 hours about so many different things. But
yeah, I'll just leave and then you can go do it.
That's not as fun though.
Yeah, no.
But I don't know if
maybe
I want to...
You can record your own little thing for yourself.
Yeah, I don't have the interest. That's not as fun. I already know all these things. I'm telling it to nobody at this point.
Yeah. All right. You want
me to close this out this time?
Yeah, you can close this out.
Is next week just going to be... We're gonna
We'll figure it out.
See where it goes. See where it goes next week.
Maybe we'll just do some tangent things.
Do some tangents.
Another
I
thing.
I do have a list of movies I want you to watch, but I feel like we should space them out.
Yeah. We'll
because a lot of them are character movies, which is what I love, but I have some other stuff in there too.
Dude, it's fun. I like it.
It is. I love analyzing and just rewatching and picking apart.
Yeah.
But you know what? We could talk about Elijah's wedding next week too.
Oh yeah, sure.
That fun time that you had a road trip on. I do want to hear about that. So we can.
Yeah, I don't know why that didn't come to mind. Like as we were talking today.
We were doing this. That's why.
Well,
I feel I feel like that's its own like topic.
It is kind of.
From what I've seen, from what you guys did, you could go on forever.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, you made meals for the boys.
Oh yeah, I did.
Y'all did
we'll talk
dancing.
about it. We'll talk about it next week.
That's just the tease for all of you out there right now. But
I made some food for the boys.
You did,
I was chefing it up. I spent hours.
And Kevin screwed up the carrots.
I spent hours in the kitchen.
And then Kevin messed the carrots up.
Dude, that was so funny. I told him to peel the carrots.
Yeah. Save it.
So I'll save it.
Save it so everybody is forced to come back next week.
Yes, come back next week to hear the rest of the story.
This is the What Were We Talking About podcast, hosted by myself, Hunter Lopp, and my good friend here, Mark Krajan.
Whenever someone says my name wrong, it's just a stab in the heart.
Weird. I hate saying my own name too, but
yeah.
Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, thank you for listening wherever you are. Wow. Why wasn't Christopher Walken in Joker? That could be interesting.
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be hilarious.
He fits that world of the 80s Flash, like kind of. He could have been Thomas Wayne. You're all clowns.
Dude, yeah, he should have been. That would have been sick.
That would have been weird.
It would have been weird, but it would have been funny.
But nonetheless, he was in Batman Returns though.
Oh.
He was like Maxwell something. He was like the mayor or something.
Oh.
And he gets electrocuted to death. It's funny because it doesn't
look
good at all. But you know where to find us. I'll put, follow us on Instas down below.
Spotify.
Socials. Mark's on Spotify. Oh.
Yo, when this comes out.
Go promote
when this comes out.
Announcement. Go.
Okay, so when this episode comes out, my EP is going to be out. It's called Context, period. And you could find me under my artist name, Monte. It's going to be on screen. And go listen to it. It's 3 songs. It's an EP. It's short and sweet.
You heard an instrumental of one of the songs last week at the end of the episode. There was a little bit of
it's super cool.
What did we
I
use?
produced the whole thing, and my buddy Elijah was singing on it, and he's phenomenal. So, yeah, go give it a listen. Let me know what you think.
It'll be in the description. I'll put it down there.
Yep.
So.
Cool.
That's that. Context.
That's
out
context.
now. Go listen.
Context out now as you're listening to this.
Share it with your friends. And share this podcast.
Share the podcast.
So we could touch all of your ears in every way we want.
The lobe.
But with consent. Because Mark apparently doesn't believe in consent.
Whoa.
I know.
No, that is not
I
true.
can quote you on this. Episode 1. Consent.
Okay.
And then Mark goes, do you really though?
No.
Something
okay.
of that nature.
That was a joke.
Yes,
obviously
I know, and
joke.
this is also a joke because we're hilarious. That's why you listen to us. That's why you watch us. Do not say sheesh. We've gone this whole time without saying it, and I'm so proud that it hasn't come up. So, to stop it from coming up anymore, we are wrapping this up. We're not talking anymore. No more sheesh. Stop laughing. This is not a joke. We have been the What Were We Talking About podcast, and we will see you next week.
Bye.